All right, welcome, guys. This is ESL One Genting's close qualifiers for South America. This is Luccini Gaming versus Team Vultur. Looks like we might have a pause right now because it looks like it's permanently stuck on 16 or the lobby crashed. We'll find out shortly. But in any case, I'm your caster Moxie. I'm casting this with Forge Dota, and we're excited to bring you this best of 3 series.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what goes on here. JJ just now reconnecting, so it looks like he was their drafter and he's now just getting back into the game. So pause should be coming back. Nope, he's disconnected again.
Uh-oh, that's not good. Well, looks like we're going to stay paused a little bit longer, guys, but we can talk a little bit about the teams while we're sitting here. Vultur actually an Argentinian team, I believe, when I was looking at their notes. They made it through the open qualifiers for South America for Genting. And they also just recently played the WISIG series versus Stars. And unfortunately, it looks like they lost.
Yeah, that's a rough team from what I've seen. A lot of teams actually having a tough time against Stars from what I've noticed. No worries, no worries.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just had a bit of a coughing fit. 'Tis the season.
Yeah. Everybody's getting sick now.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. I've had a cold, but haven't struggled too badly today. But yeah, so they went up against Stars, and Luccini, of course, has been around for a while now. Their roster has changed on and off again, but they are a little bit more of a well-known name here in the South American region.
Yeah, one of the mainstayers for the region, like you mentioned, going up against Sacred, Mad Kings, a lot of different teams, even Infamous pretty recently. So looking forward to see what they pull out here. And it looks like JJ has connected again.
Fingers crossed that he can stay connected this time.
Nope, never mind. He's disconnected
Oh
again.
no, we are on Brazilian server, so I don't know if that makes a difference from where they're located. Because I know South America is huge and it's pretty hard for them to sometimes find a good connection here. I'm sure an admin is on the case, though. Also, apologies in advance, guys. Apparently, we do not have a ticket for this particular series, so all their names are not what you're normally used to looking at. We've tried to figure out exactly who is who, and we do have a couple that we're not 100% sure on, so we'll probably end up just using hero names for the most part. But we've seen some good Dota today. We did Mad Kings versus T-Show, and that was a lot of fun to cast, especially because we had some very unexpected picks towards the end of game 2 and 3 there.
Yeah, the last pick PL and the last pick Axe, kind of throwing Mad Kings off their game a little bit. The Axe pick especially really throwing both of us off the handle there is a really good way to deal with the anti-mage and the OD and just kind of keep their Medusa safe. Really good drafting coming out from T-Show in those series.
Yeah, very impressed with that, especially because we did not see the Axe coming, as mentioned. But, looks like everyone's back. We have unpaused, and we see some pretty specific bans coming out here. No Omni Knight. We saw just how strong that hero is now with the way that Dispelling actually works. And no Luna for the side of Vultur here.
Yeah, SD Luna making its way back into the meta. But Vultur may be thinking if they want to get not Vultur, but Luccini may be thinking if they want the Shadow Demon for themselves, set up for something else. But definitely SD Luna just a little bit too powerful. We saw the power of that earlier today, and even just in pubs across the world, it's making its way back into our games.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous just seeing how much damage those Lucent Glaives could do. I think it was up against the Brewmaster, right? Just shredding all those pandas left and right, shredded their cores. There's just very little that they could do. Even Jug trying to spin himself out, I think, during that game wasn't really able to because Luna's just throwing out too much damage. Actually, it was a Tiny and Jug, right?
Tiny and Jug that game, yeah. But even
3 games
still,
ago.
just so much damage. And yeah, Morphling also, one of those heroes that I think for a little bit everybody thought was pretty weak. but I think it was just an adaptation of playstyle. The old split push morph is pretty much gone, but man, is his fighting presence ever killer now, especially now with that earlier timing on shotgun that a lot of people are grabbing now. Just that burst potential against squishy cores and squishy supports.
It's the battle of the ice supports and the Sand King too. Two very popular picks we've seen actually happen today. The Winter Wyvern actually has been ignored for the most part during our casting today, so I'm excited to see that picked up. I think that she's really, really strong right now. That Q just being so good at able to harass in lane, the slow, the percentage damage. Just a really strong hero. Ancient Apparition, of course, we talked about how he, doesn't have that slow anymore. A little bit of a nerf to the amount of damage with Chilling Touch, but again, it won't actually slow your allies in terms of hitting. And it's nice setup too with the Sand King being able to burrow strike and throw down the cold feet and cause some problems there.
Yeah, really, really scary lane for anybody to walk into. And it's curious because this is one of the regions I think that still runs the off-lane Sand King, so this is a slight flex pick as well. We could see the roaming Sand King or the return of the off-lane, leaving themselves open a little bit here. But Vultur on the sides got themselves a pretty scary 1-2 punch in their support duo. A little bit lacking in hard lockdown, but lots of slow and lots of damage over time coming out from the Earth Spirit and the Winter Wyvern here. If they grab themselves a core or two, some hard stuns, going to be a scary game for Luccini Gaming for sure.
Yeah, Vulture actually has a lot of possibilities. There wasn't a lot of information about this team when I was doing my research, and they're very, very flexible. I think I saw a different core for safe lane almost every single time. We saw like a gyro, they had a weaver at one point, they had a monkey king. So a lot of flexibility with these picks, and they do ban out the Broodmother. They don't want to get cheesed out here, even though Winter Wyvern fairly decent at dealing with all those broodlings, but it takes a while for her to get the levels where she can really be effective against them. So I guess they're gotta be real careful about that. Anti-Mage getting banned out, as is the Dusa. Two very, very powerful picks. The Brewmaster, of course, we mentioned earlier, his Water Spirit being able to dispel, which makes him a very big value. But they grab the puck on the side of Luccini. That's going to provide really nice team fight. Being able to just go in there with an Illusory Orb, drop that Dream Coil, follow up with an Epi, and of course the Snowball. But on the flip side of things, again, they do have very nice team fight coming out from Vulture. The Winter's Curse, of course, super value, especially with a lot of cores that have right-click damage, and the Earth Spirit with the Magnetize as well.
Yeah, Luccini have drafted themselves very nicely around this Winter Wyvern, though. A lot of really low attack speed heroes, so not really going to get a whole lot out of the Winter's Curse. And the Cold Embrace not going to do a whole lot either because of just the amount of magic damage. And the AA pick as well, very nice into the Cold Embrace. Don't get any of that regen. And even the magic damage on top. So Luccini responding very well to this pick and setting themselves up nicely. And mildly abusing the lack of catch. The puck, very slippery hero, and going to be tough, really, for this Earth Spirit to get any good ganks off.
And the immediate counter, though. Vulture likes this hero. They've used him before, I believe. And Doom, of course, is a direct counter to Puck, making it so that Puck literally, all he can do is right-click. Can't really escape that well, either. I'd be interested to see, there's still a Tiny in the pool, and there's still a Gyrocopter, and those have been some pretty big value cores that we saw, especially at the summit. Tiny was very, very popular. Not
I
so
think
much
if
the
any
Gyro.
team's gonna run themselves, oh, you're gonna get your Tiny.
There he is. There's my Tiny.
There's
See him
your
chuck
Tiny.
some trees around here.
There's nothing more satisfying as a Tiny player than getting a kill with chucking
With your
a tree.
tree.
It's just so satisfying. And I was gonna say before the Tiny pick that if any team was likely to grab the Gyrocopter, it was gonna be Vulture. But now with that Tiny, that's a lot of burst damage, and with the AA to follow up, I'm not sure I like the Gyro, so I don't think we'll be seeing it this game. But now they need themselves some kind of tanky core that can deal with this burst damage and then turn it around. And I can't really think of too many. AA kind of shuts down the opportunities for play quite drastically.
Yeah, I'm not sure here, looking at this particular draft, what they might want to pick up in terms of a safe lane core.
Something like a PL might not be too bad. Something that just kind of slips around the fight. Lots of illusions. They have some pretty decent AoE, but in terms of being able to get away from the Dream Coil, get away from disengage, and then come back in, chuck in some damage, PL might not be too bad. Uh, Even something like a Sven that can just stand there and fight through could be nice. They just need somebody to just stand there, take a hit or two, and dish out a ridiculous amount of damage, I think.
Now, what about a lifestealer, just considering the amount of magic that they have on the side of Luccini? Is that a possibility? I mean, I'm a little worried he might get a bit kited.
Yeah, that's the big problem with lifestealer right now, with Sand King, Puck, and even a Tiny to some extent, because Tiny can just toss away whoever's getting gone on.
Oh,
but
they go for it anyways.
Good read from Moxie. They are going to go for it. A decent vehicle in the Earth Spirit, and once he gets initiation on him online as well on the, with the Doom. But other than that, I mean, there are lots of low armor heroes for him to shred apart. Puck, not really a huge armor hero.
Tiny too.
He does get the bonus armor from his ult now, which is nice, but even still, very high HP hero. Lifestealer's going to eat right through that, and Sand King. So it could be an interesting game. It's going to be just a question of, do they have enough control to make sure Lifestealer can actually get off the hits?
Well, I guess it'll also depend on what they pick up too for their mid hero. Because like you said, the Earth Spirit's a pretty good vehicle for getting him into the fight. But I feel like they might need someone to make a little bit more space early on here for this Lifestealer. What do we have left here? We've got a TA available. I don't know if we want to see something like that.
TA is not that great here. No. She's going to get bursted pretty heavily
by the... That's true with the Tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny and the Puck. Let's see. All right, moment of truth. It's going to be the Viper.
It's gonna be the Viper.
Okay.
So pretty solid standard hero. Has the break's not going to do too much, but matches well up against the Puck just because he has the bonus magic resistance. A lot of magic damage actually overall on Luccini. So max out Corrosive Haze and you just kind of stand there and dish out a bunch of damage. I like the pick.
Well, seems like a pretty solid idea here. Now, what do we see for the side of Luccini? Is the next question. And they do have a lot of flexibility with this draft still.
Well, we're going to find out pretty quickly.
Shadow Fiend. Oh, there is someone that I haven't seen yet today and was expecting. So
now the real question is going to be Shadow Fiend magic or Shadow Fiend physical, and I think the answer is going to be physical.
It's got to be physical with the Lifestealer on this team, and there's just too much magic damage otherwise if he goes for the caster build.
Yeah. As much as I do love the new build, the new caster build, I think this is definitely a game. Grab like an early SNY, maybe a Blink or a Shadow Blade for your initiation, and just group up, take some really nice team fights. They have really, really solid team fight on the side of Luccini. So as long as they can group up and get their coordination off, they should be off to a decent start.
So you're favoring right now the Luccini draft over the Vultur draft?
I would say so. I think the ease of execution is definitely on their side. Earth Spirits doesn't really have any great setup. That's the one thing that you usually want, is just somebody to set up for his kicks. Right now, he's basically their initiation until Doom gets a Blink Dagger, which relying on an item for your initiation isn't always the best.
That's not necessarily like fair though, because there's, you know, Tide Hunters that pick it up, Pucks when they're in the off lane. Although Puck, again, a little bit more mobile, going to be able to go and Illusory Orb his way in. But there's a lot of off laners that, you know, really rely on getting that Blink Dagger. So
you're not wrong, and I'm not saying that they don't have any team fight, but in terms of ease of execution and getting it off without a hitch, I would say that, you know, Puck gets the Illusory Orb, Tiny tosses somebody in. It's just a lot easier for them to enable their team fight on the side of Luccini. We are going to get a pause.
Yeah, we know that they were struggling a little bit during the drafting, so maybe JJ's still having a bit of trouble. I don't know. But again, guys, apologies. We don't actually have a ticket for this particular series. In fact, I don't think anyone has a ticket for this right now. So teams and their names are not going to be appearing properly. So it's a bit of a guessing game. But this is, of course, Team Vultur versus Team Luccini. So on the Radiant side, too, this is Team Luccini, I believe. No, I'm not
Yeah.
seeing any banners or anything. And on the side of the Dire, we have Team Vulture. So it's a very sparkly wyvern. I like it. Beautiful. Someone told me that South America doesn't have hats, and I've seen some pretty nice hats so far today, Forge.
We saw a pretty great Rubik hat earlier.
Well,
I was
actually,
very
it's the
happy.
staff. I like the staff. That was the one I liked on that guy.
I
So
mean,
some
I
nice
like the whole
nicks.
set, but the staff was very nice.
Got the action courier right here. Look at his mid kick. He's ready for battle. He's ready to deliver your goods. He'll battle through, battle ram style. Yeah, he's very excited. Look at this dude.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Oh, I can't. I was trying to like zoom in so I could show him in battle pose, but
Do we have any good effigies?
I don't read
No?
effigies anymore after I started reading effigies, and they were very inappropriate.
Yeah, I don't speak that much Spanish anymore, so I don't know if these are bad or not, but definitely a lot more dire effigies than there are radiant effigies.
Let's see, that's the kicker here too. You know, we don't speak a lot of Spanish, so whatever you're saying could be something incredibly innocent, or it could be incredibly inappropriate.
I know I see Amigo on one, so I think that one's friendly, but I could be very, very wrong.
You could be very, very wrong. Absolutely. Not sure. Again, I think someone's keeping an eye on pause time here, so
I'm assuming somebody is sitting in here watching.
I'm sure there's an admin.
Waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think First Blood's going on, Moxie?
That's a good question. Oh, it looks like the Sand King actually was the one who disconnected this time. Not JJ here. I think... I don't know, actually. I kind of like whatever lane the Wyvern's going in. That's possible. It's also possible with this Viper that he might be able to take down the Shadow Fiend over in mid. I don't know.
I think Shadow Fiend dies first. I think he gets rolled on by Earth Spirit
Let's try the slow.
With the poison attack on top, and
why not both, Forge? Why don't we have a rotation from these supports going into mid? Because it's not bad enough that Shadow Fiend has to face a Viper. Now he has to face two really other annoying supports.
Yeah, I mean, we've all had that game where you're playing mid, or you're playing whatever core role.
I am that support.
And yep, and people like Moxie just roll in and just spoil all the fun.
It's like, hey guys, what's up? I heard you like laning. Let me change that for you. Alright, looks like Sand King is reconnected. Hopefully we're good to go again.
So interesting thing about Sand King and Mr. Doom is that they both started with boots first.
Oh, really?
So both opting for some extra speed, dart in and out of the lanes. I think it makes a lot of sense on the Doom. That way he can run in, you know, chuck an Infernal Blade on the Tiny or whoever it might be, and then quickly get out before he gets gone on by the
I think move speed's got to be pretty important. Blah, can't talk. For this Doom, so that way he can, like you said, to get away from cold feet and whatnot. So.
And Sand King needs it so he can get off the very, very short range Burrow Strike at level 1. So makes a lot of sense. No other really big items that were able to get picked up before the pause rolled out.
It looks like we're still having a little bit of difficulty here as well. But, so who do we decide, which draft did we like better, Forge? I'm trying to recall.
I like the Luccini draft better. I think it just boils down to they have an easier time getting pickoffs and starting fights. Lifestealer doesn't have like the easiest vehicle. He doesn't have something like a Storm Spirit or something like that that just very easily gets into a fight. And their initiation, for the most part, until Doom gets really fat and really online, is going to rely on the Earth Spirit. Whereas on the other side, where Luccini, you've got Puck, who can orb in. He's going to grab a Blink Dagger. Tiny's going to grab something for initiation. He can toss people in. You've got the Sand King. They've just got all these different avenues. Whereas Vultur's just kind of stuck with one or two options.
So is the big draw of this draft just the mobility as well? Being able to dodge in and out?
Yeah. That's basically what it boils down to. When you have a Lifestealer core, mobility is going to be the name of the game. And the team that can very easily execute around that Lifestealer is going to have the edge. So I mean, I'm not saying that he doesn't have a chance. Like if they get rolling, these are three
Get it?
very very yeah, that's right.
I'm the worst. I'm sorry. I'll see myself out.
Moxie's fired.
I'm
Never coming
fired. Fired.
back. But no, if you know, Earth Spirit gets some really great initiations off, if you know, Doom gets massive, Viper gets massive, these are very very tanky cores that are not going to get easily bursted by the magic damage that Luccini have. So if they can get off to a really good start, they absolutely can just kind of barrel down lanes unkillable, because they've got a Wyvern backing them up, constantly healing them. So they do have the opportunity. I just worry about the ease of execution for them.
All right. Well, it looks like we are finally ready to go. Let's start game number 1 of Luccini versus Vultur. Oh, I like it. We're starting off with taunts. Oh no, we have another pause.
Tiny, no.
Luccini seems to be struggling pretty hard here.
That's
With
rough.
some technical difficulties. Does look like we've got a smoke on the Earth Spirit, so I'm not sure. That looks like they're all going down to the spot lane, so they might try to pull off a gank.
Yeah, Earth Spirit has one, and AA has one as well.
Yeah, is this going to be the case of ships passing in the night? I don't think so, actually, because it looks like a bunch of people are headed bottom instead of like doing a group smoke, going to that top rune and trying to invade. I could be wrong, though. Again, they're
We'll
literally
probably
still in
split.
the base. I am just wildly speculating left and right here.
We'll probably split 2 and 2. It's what most teams do. They'll invade the safe lane of the enemy because the 2 runes are so close to each other that you can very easily back each other up. So most teams will just invade, and they'll trade 2 and 2. There's gonna be 5 down bottom though. So they
Yeah,
might
I
look
told
to
you,
get the kill.
they're going for some big plays here with the smoke, I think. Although they
They
could
got a
just be
lot
doing
of-
it to drop wards, but they're all grouping together.
They got a lot of slow potential between open wounds.
Are they even gonna smoke for this, or are they just
roll.
gonna ping, 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 ping?
That's Doom. He
Maybe
hasn't
they're
been
waiting.
spotted yet.
Just trying to break any smokes, possibly, if they are trying to invade.
Lines are coming out from the Ancient Apparition, I think.
All right,
that
there we go.
covers.
There's the smoke. Looks like
Oh,
they're...
Tiny might get caught here.
This is actually so scary when they come from the high ground. They're actually gonna
Yeah.
do a full wrap here, though.
Yeah. Wyvern's got the Arctic Burn.
Yeah, the slow coming out from all of these heroes. If they
Yeah,
opt
they're
to
gonna
do
go
this.
all the way around. They're gonna catch
Ooh.
him.
Tiny, my
They're gonna break
man.
him up.
Smoke gets broken. There's the Arctic Burn. The roll in immediately. There's the slow coming out from Viper. Infernal Blade, and that's a dead Tiny going to the side of Doom.
That is really well executed gank there. Very nice patience to go around the back. That way he doesn't have any angles for retreat. Very easy to get fogged going up that high ground. So nicely played from them.
They had good level 1 there as well. Lifestealer's just going to go ahead, TP himself to lane. As will the Viper.
He's
Tiny is just wailing away down here on Doom. He's pretty mad. Throwing trees at him left and right. That's a lot of damage, and he actually doesn't have a solve, so he's going to have to go and eat himself a bunch of trees here. Middle lane. Oh, Viper, he's getting LOL 3-midded here. Can he get out in time? That Fairy Fire actually just gives him enough health, 19 hit points. And now Earth Spirit will just trade hits back and forth here with the Winter Wyvern throwing out the Arctic Burn. That's a nice burrow strike. It doesn't matter, though. Still take down the Sand King. Good rotations. This is an action-packed game.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hit the gas. Hit the gas and never stop, Moxie.
I mean, I came from CIS Dota, and that was, whew, you want to talk about hit the gas and never stop.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of unfortunate about this is that Shadow Fiend was just hitting creeps that whole time. So he's
Yeah.
got, you know, 8
got
souls
8.
online now.
And a level advantage as well. I'm sure they're going to be throwing a lot of stuff at him mid and just making his life absolutely awful, because you still have the Wyvern standing nearby. You've got the Earth Spirit as well.
He's under a ward though. They do see him. Shadow Fiend knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, but if his health is getting chipped down that much, yeah, they're going to bait him here. There's the roll in. Looks like Viper is thinking he wants to go back in, though. There's the Arctic Burn getting popped. Stone comes out. He pops that Fairy Fire. One more hit, though, and JJ will get himself a kill.
3-0 very quickly. Nicely played from the supports here. I can't believe how much damage he's doing to that Viper, though.
That's a Shadow Fiend for you.
Yeah, Shadow Raise is a really, really good spell now, guys. And
We do have a point in the corrosive skin too, so he's not going to be able to trade as effectively with this Viper if he just goes for the right clicks.
Yeah, that's going to stack. I would imagine, honestly, at this point in this game, that just gets maxed first.
Mm.
It's pretty
Look
peculiar.
at them. They're creeping again, and they spot it out.
They get the scan.
That scan. Oof. And he does find himself a regen rune here in the top lane. No bottle yet. We'll just go ahead, pop that. Top lane looks like Puck getting off a lot of value right clicks, having to salve this lifestealer here. Again, the rotation mid, they want the Shadow Fiend. They're not going to give him any space. One more click will be enough to take him down, and they'll turn back around here. They've got the Chilling Touch. Can the Earth Spirit get away? No, he's going to fall to the last tick, actually, of the Sand King Caustic, and a click, I believe, from the Ancient Apparition. This lane is just left and right. Dude.
It's going to be bloody. It's going to be bloody all game.
Now, what's interesting is then it leaves the Tiny alone versus the Doom.
It's honestly not the worst thing for Doom. Infernal Blade is very, very good.
Oh, the toss! They just need one more hit. He's going to get it right underneath his own tower. Oh.
Right as I say that, I gave him the worst caster's curse on
the
that
caster's curse, absolutely. He's doing really well farming, though. That Tiny 17 and 2. Ooh. Good stuff.
That's the power of tree grab now. Just so much bonus damage.
In my day, you needed an Aghanim Scepter to get a tree.
Our day is done, Moxie. Back in our day, it's gone. Lifesteal is doing pretty well against Puck, though. 14 and 2. Puck getting a lot of farm in the soft lane is definitely going to be a bit of a problem. And early blink dagger.
Bottom lane. Oh, Tiny. Can he get himself out? He's actually caught in the trees here. One more right click will take him down. Earth Spirit sitting low himself, but they've still got their eyes on this Ancient Apparition. They're going to die for it. In fact, JJ will be able to get that final hit in at the last second.
Infernal Blade is just such a good ability against Tiny. That's what, 5% max HP?
The Sentry Ward has spotted out the Sand King here. Wiggle, wiggle, little guy. Winter Wyvern standing nearby. Sentry's actually just about to go out, though, so.
Question is, does he know that? Does he
probably doesn't. He might suspect that it was placed early on. But yeah, they definitely know. Not going to be able to do too much with this invis, unfortunately, for our Sandy friend.
This is going to be an action-packed mid, though. That's for sure.
There's just so much slow with the Viper and the Arctic Burn. The roll-in comes out, but it doesn't quite connect. They still will be able to get a stun, though. They'll turn around. Splinter Blast coming out. They've still got their eyes over here onto the Shadow Fiend. He will turn around. He'll try to get some clicks off over onto this Winter Wyvern. They do manage to take down the Viper, and now it looks like Wyvern going to be flying for her life here, trying to get out of the situation. We'll just try to TP out. Sand King needs to get that Burrow Strike in soon. Oh, he just misses. So close here.
Nice TP from the Wyvern there, just barely getting out.
Lifestealer is taking a lot of clicks here from this Puck.
Yeah, it's such a hard gank. Like, Earth Spirit is level 3 now, and the orb did just get wasted. So if they're gonna go, now is the time.
Oh, they missed the Burrow Strike over here on the Viper. Meanwhile, turning back around, there's the Dream Coil getting dropped, but it doesn't matter. JJ gets himself another kill.
Puck playing a little bit too aggressively there, too comfortable.
I'm sure he was feeling really good about, all the CS he's getting, the fact that he's chipped down the Lifestealer quite a bit.
I think that's really the timing Earth Spirit was waiting for. It was just that level 3. Get the silence going. Doesn't even manage to get it off there, but Puck throwing out the Illusory Orb at just the worst time, unfortunately.
Now they do have... Okay, yeah, they drop another Observer over here to keep tabs on where the Shadow Fiend is. This poor Shadow Fiend. He's doing alright, though. I mean, his CS is third in line here for top. He's almost got his level 6. In fact, just picks it up now. And he's actually still a bit ahead of this Viper.
It's so tough to stop him from farming, even if you keep ganking him.
Big gank top. Waning Rift, but not going to be enough when a right click from a lifestealer can take you down.
Now they've kind of, you know, Doom's got his levels. He's going to be fine. He's got the Scorched Earth. He's got the Infernal Blade. Viper's doing okay.
Sand
He
King?
can't really. Oh.
No,
Okay.
Just going to wiggle through.
Thought I was going to hit another Caster's Curse there. But Viper's doing okay. He can't really stop the Shadow Fiend from farming, but he can farm okay. So now they have to turn their attention to the Puck, who was completely free for the first few levels.
Oh, look at the damage from this tree. Oh my goodness.
Does have Doom online though, so they could try and chase him down.
Looks like they're setting up for something again in mid. Oh, they do have an observer. They do spot out that Wyvern is nearby. There's the roll in. He'll follow up with the Puck, but they're silenced up. 3-man Stonehead here. Nice, oh no. This Dream Coil is just cleaning up the side of the Dire, but there's the follow-up with the Doom. He's found himself a Puck. He'll take him down. JJ trying to run himself away from the Sand King. Realizes that he's probably dead. Will just try to get a couple clicks off, and he'll go ahead. He'll pop that wand. He's going to try to get the deny here from Mr. Roche. And Mr. Roche will comply.
Very kind of Mr. Roche, but all in all, pretty good trade. They get the Shadow Fiend. They kill the Puck. They do spend Doom, but definitely worth it. And,
definitely. Oh boy, they found themselves a Wyvern. That burst damage. Tiny's very, very happy.
Yeah, nice Arcane Rune. Does get the Treads Aquila, but opts to go for the Blink Dagger instead of the old SNY build.
Again, we talked about the mobility coming out from the side of Luccini here, and Blinks are going to be a big deal for them. Doom standing nearby. He doesn't have Doom up, but they do have the Earth Spirit standing nearby, looking like they want to jump on him, but they need to be very careful because I'm pretty sure that this Tiny could just burst down the Earth Spirit. In fact, they back off. There is some action, though, going on over here in mid. Viper's in a lot of trouble. He gets Viper Strike off over onto Sand King. He will get a kill for this. But we'll get taken down in the process. So we've got 18 kills in 9 minutes. This feels like a CIS game. I like it.
Well, are we sating your bloodlust yet, Moxie?
What is it? The Crystal Maiden voice pack where she just like starts yelling about wanting more bloodshed? That's kind of me.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but
oh, it is. Totally is. I'm cracking up every time Tiny throws a tree at Doom.
He uses up the attacks and then he gets that last little bit of harassing. He also he's been canceling clarities by tossing trees, which is not very nice, but pretty funny.
Not very nice. Yeah, I would assume that throwing trees at people would be considered BM.
Is he going to literally just throw this tree at Doom?
I don't know. We're about to find out. No. Was thinking about it. Doom sniffed something in the air and was like, yeah, no, I don't want that. Doom gonna be back up online in about 7 seconds. Oh, he's trying to get the rune and it's gonna get taken away from him. Just throw out the Infernal Blade. Chases a little bit here with the Scorched Earth. Now there's 3 people there. He needs to be very careful because they can easily reinitiate on him. And he's actually gonna back off, but we do see that the Earth Spirit has canceled out that regen here. Or rather picked up the regen before the Shadow Fiend could grab it. And again, Winter Wyvern, she's got a Lifestealer inside of her. She's looking for an opening. They found themselves a Sand King. They need to get another hit over here, and it looks like that was a very fruitful use of an ultimate for the Lifestealer, who has an armlet.
So I was really worried about using Earth Spirit as your only form of initiation for most of the game, but so far, JJ's been killing it. So... you know, my apologies.
Although he is very much, I was going to say he's in trouble, but never mind.
No,
Viper and
he
him.
was rolling in.
The green team.
Yeah.
The dream. Puck
Dream green
goes
alive.
up top. Looks like he doesn't want to 1v1 this Doom for good reason. He does have Doom online. The direct counter. Though he does have support from the rest of his team now. He's got a Sand King staying nearby. Do have an AA. While all this is happening.
Ice Blast online.
Bottom tower getting taken. Come out, wherever you are.
The one nice thing too about Doom, other than having Infernal Blade, which is obviously great, is as far as I know, it's one of the only disables that kind of goes through the status resistance. It lasts for the full duration, even with Tiny's bonus magic resistance. So that is pretty nice to have against Tiny, because most of the other disables that they have are going to get cut short very quickly once Tiny hits level 18.
Now Puck does show himself, but so does the Sand King here. So TPs are coming out. What looks like Wyvern. They want to try to punish this a little bit. Another TP as well. There's the roll in. They found themselves a Puck. Puck gonna try to hide himself out. Will be able to get the Dream Coil off, but oh, he's doomed up. He can't do anything beyond that. A big Ice Blast coming in. Will actually take down JJ here, and Lifestealer will come out from his infestation, but they still don't have the detection for the Sand King. Meanwhile, they're still being chased over here onto the side. They will be able to get a kill over onto the AA with that Viper and that delicious double damage. Sand King is somehow still alive because they didn't have detection, so he's going to be feeling really good as he scuttles himself out.
They only have the one AoE stun, and if he dies, well, that sucks. But they do get 2 nice kills. Keeping this Puck down is going to be really nice. She's had her Blink Dagger slowed down quite considerably, considering how she started out.
Needs to be careful too. Doom is just hunting through these woods looking for the Puck. This should be a top tower that they can take. Meanwhile, though, we do see Tiny in the bot lane. He's grabbed himself a tree. He's waiting for this fortification to be over. We'll get some nice value clicks in. They should be able to get that. They take down the Doom, though, over in mid. The Viper Strike over, and no, they're going to be able to walk away from this. Top lane, looks like Puck in a little bit of trouble here. Gonna try to dodge himself back. There's another Dream Coil out, but this Arctic Burn doing so much damage. Lifestealer still hot on the trail. We'll be able to get that kill. And there's that nice cold embrace as she tanks a little of the tower, lets the Lifestealer get himself out. But Tiny is hitting bottom tower. Yeah, during all this.
Yeah.
Gonna have tree grab up shortly.
And if they're not careful, this tower is just...
This is just a free tower if they're not careful. I mean, it looks like they are TPing down the Lifestealer. Oh, that blink!
Nice blink. But still,
bye, Felicia.
T2 to half HP. They don't even get the top tower for this. That's not great. They're getting lots of kills, but the objective's definitely favoring Luccini right now. Are going to have Deso online for the Lifestealer soon, which will definitely enable their sieging potential greatly. They don't really... That's kind of one of the only issues they're going to have is hitting objectives cleanly.
They're just letting this Tiny split push the entire time, farming up very, very quickly because, again, she has that tree. A bit of a fight going on over here in mid. Looks like Sand King's in a lot of trouble. He's still going to get taken down, though, by the Viper, and they're going to turn back around. They get the kill over onto the Shadow Fiend. And that should translate into a tower here for the side of Vultur. But top tower goes down just from Tiny alone, just whacking away at it. So they need to make something happen. And someone probably should go home and deal with this Tiny that's hitting their tower. 3-man Ice Blast will connect. Wyvern standing up on the high ground, keeping an eye out. But it looks like we see the TP coming in. They do want to go and try to protect this. Earth Spirit should probably roll in with that infestation. Not going to connect, but immediately pops out. Nice stone being thrown out from the Earth Spirit. 3-man Dream Coil coming out from Puck, but not enough to save the Tiny, who will finally get taken down here after just having free reign of the map. Puck should be fine here.
Does go on the Lifestealer as well, which is nice. Going to get him closer to that Deso. Should have it after this wave of creeps, which they can then use to take this top tower. Did mid tower go down? Mid tower did not go down. Respawn time's just a little bit too slow. But Shadow Fiend actually opting for the spell amp. We got ourselves a caster fiend.
That was definitely not what we were expecting, considering the amount of magic that's already there. So if they pick up some BKBs, this could be very, very good for the side of Vultur.
Well, we already see the hood on the Viper on top of his corrosive skin. Probably going to get the full pipe later on, and then probably another one from Doom. Double pipe is definitely viable. And once, like you said, once the BKBs come online too, I worry about the scalability of the Luccini draft.
Looks like Doom got into a little scuffle down here in the bot lane against Sand King. We'll be able to just walk away here. Nothing too big going on with that.
Yeah, how's our Blink Dagger timings? We've got
18,
Puck has hers.
100 over on the Doom. He's going to have his soon.
Puck has hers. Sand King is pretty close. 1700 for him.
Tiny's had his.
Tiny's had his for a while, yeah. So mobility items starting to come in. And honestly, I'm surprised that there hasn't been really a really big group up. I feel like the team fight on the side of Luccini is much stronger, but they keep getting kind of picked off as 5 right now. Or picked off individually by this.
Let's say picked off as 5. That doesn't make any sense, Forge. You're crazy. Tiny just poking away at this bottom tower every time that he gets an opportunity. Looks like top tower is finally going to go down here, though. Lifestealer gets that last hit. He's got his Dessa completed, and it looks like he's going back for a hand of Midas. There's a silence thrown out here by the puck. He's taking a lot of damage. Will try to go and hide himself out here, bottles himself through, and opt to just run himself away, but they do find themselves a Sand King over here, and that's a nice Ice Blast. Winter Wyvern can't heal herself through that. Epicenter gets used, so that's down for now. And Viper looks like he's about to, this is kind of scary.
Tiny needs plus
Tiny.
1 though, I think. I don't think Tiny can burst.
Tiny just throws a tree, warns them, and then blinks out. Now, Lifesteal standing nearby here again does have the Sand King right in front of him. Could opt to try to jump him. He's going to use that Sandstorm, so if he waits patiently, that won't be up for him. And he can delay that blink tag timer a little bit more. Yeah, okay. Lifestealer sees his opening. This is too late for Sand King here. He can't even TP out. We'll be able to Burrow Strike, though, actually. And Lifestealer, he just looks through the trees. He does the Infest, gets the damage down. And then we got a fight over into the mid lane. That's a big Dream Coil. But looks like the side of the Dire, they're just going to take it and say no problem as they take down... What did they do? They took down the AA there?
Yeah, but look
at Tiny. They lost their spirit.
Tiny's bottom.
And Tiny is back to routing. Just poking away at this tower. The big booty creep will take down that last tower.
I mean, with the bots online on the Shadow Fiend as well, the ratting potential is going to be really huge.
He's going right into their base. Someone has to go home, like, pronto, like, to deal with this. And they gotta make sure that they grab him before he can blink. It's too late.
Oh.
Oh, did they get... Oh, he just misses! Oh, look at the pings.
That's so rough. He
So
was
close.
Too.
So close.
That would have been a huge catch.
Do you see BKB as the next item up and running here for the Doom? Or wants to get it up and running, rather. Not quite there yet. So that'll be very helpful.
Does have his Blink Dagger online, which is nice. Also has the Alpha Wolf, which is going to synergize nicely with Lifestealer.
Jump forward, though. They see themselves a Wyvern. There's a lot of burst damage coming out from Puck. Actually uses the Dream Coil. Will allow Tiny to maybe get this kill. No, it'll actually be the Puck who cleans up here. There's another pig coming out. They'll go ahead. They'll invade the jungle. They've got this Ancient Apparition who's smoked up. He's looking. They know that there's a couple people in here, but he's not going to be able to quite catch them. Oh, but there it is. There's the Blink forward, the Epicenter, the Ice Blast, and a very dead Viper. Ping, 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 ping. Everyone's pinging. They're all pretty mad here.
So they are going to find themselves a couple of really nice kills. But Lifestealer does have his Midas now. Can very quickly, or not very quickly, but can scale very nicely into the late game. And is hiding now inside of his Earth Spirit. Has himself another armlet queued up. I'm going to assume this is a misclick.
Probably. I don't think that he would go double armlet. I think that's, that'd be pretty silly. But anyways, they've got the, like you said, Infest Bomb up and running over here on Earth Spirit. They're looking for a pick. Shadow Fiend is showing, so looks like, oh, they popped the drums. They want him bad.
Yeah, he doesn't have a mobility item, so...
There's the stun. There's the Doom on top of it. That might have been a little much, but they're glad to just take him off the map for a while.
Yeah, the one problem they are going to have is just getting these waves out with Tiny roaming around and Puck, you know, just clearing waves very quickly. It's going to make it very difficult for them to group up. You can see what they want to do. They want to group, get kills, take objectives, but Tiny's just constantly around the map, creating pressure, allowing the space to be there for the recovery.
Oh, look at Lifesteal. He's trying to be sneaky here with this creep. Looks like he's just going to have to farm with it, though.
I'm not sure how sneaky it is when you immediately take it over and run it towards the creep wave, but I appreciate what he was trying to do.
Maybe he wasn't paying attention. He blunk. That's not... He blinked out pretty quickly, so he might not have seen it. I don't know. Giving the benefit of the doubt here. But this Tiny, yeah, he's just been rolling around the map. No cares in the world. Not afraid of really anything, it seems. It's only... see, 3-3 and 1. Lifestealer is actually at the top of the net worth thanks to that Midas, but I don't know.
And I really like this Manta style pickup from Tiny too. It's really nice agility, which he has 0 of. And on top of that, there's a lot of slows on the Dire, and it's a really nice way to dispel those.
Absolutely.
Everything pretty much except for the Viper Strike, I think, can be dispelled. And, I mean, if you get doomed, you're already pretty much dead anyway, so no point in getting the BKB or anything like that.
Shadow Fiend is just holding still in the bot lane. Oh, nope, there you go. I'm never sure, too, when people are, like, lagging out or not with the South American games. I know we've had some connection issues. Oh, boy, Tiny. He sensed something was coming. He blinked out of there fast.
He's been pretty good about not showing unless his blink dagger's off cooldown. Like it's on cooldown. It's off cooldown, ready to go now. So he's gonna
Dream Coil comes out. Viper goes ahead, pops a shrine. We'll try to dodge the Ice Blast, but looks like he's in a lot of trouble here. They actually use the Epi on him as well. Winter Wyvern TPing in, but cancels out. Lifestealer does show up. He's all by himself. Needs to be a little careful. Does have Infest up, and there's the jump over here trying to grab Sand King. Looks like they should be able to burn him down with that Scorched Earth. And again, while this is all going down, look who's in the top lane. Doesn't have a tree right now, but just constantly poking and prodding at this tower. Doom, he's looking for him, but he's already pieced out Cub Scout.
Yeah, the Earth Spirit was really, really close to dying there. Tiny had Earth Spirit had like 10 HP from the Tiny, but no tree to toss at him, unfortunately. So a good stun and roll away from Earth Spirit. And I gotta say, these pickoffs are starting to add up. There was a pretty sizable lead for the Dire here, but starting to inch its way back towards in the favor of the Radiant. Just this map pressure from Tiny has been so key.
It just makes so much space. It's constantly making the other team run back and forth the entire time.
You can see that, like, Vultur, they want to group up as 5. You know, if they find a pickoff, then move into objectives, but not being allowed to do that.
They're gonna see 2 heroes over here. See the Doom and the Viper. They'll jump forward though. They're looking for this puck. Be able to land that Dream Coil. Infernal Blade doing a lot of damage though. We'll try to just burn this puck back. Can't exactly chase after him. He's just too slippery. And now it looks like they want to go after Tiny. Not gonna be able to quite grab him either. Who got Doom during that fight? I heard it go off.
It was Shadow Fiend who ran himself very quickly back to base with the bots and the Yule Scepter. He is running very quickly, pretty much permanently hasted.
Ooh, big Ice Blast coming in, connects over onto the Viper. We'll be able to, oh, that's it. Oh, the Lincolns blocks the curse. Doom jumps forward again here, followed up with the Earth Spirit. We'll get used up. Looks like they've got their eyes over here onto Tiny. Will roll themselves back around. Another big epicenter coming out. They'll be able to take down the Winter Wyvern, and they still have their eyes on Sand King. They brought Dust this time. He's toast. And in the back end here, it looks like Viper will clean up that Shadow Fiend. He got away once. He's not going to get away again.
Yeah, they're trying to find Puck, but I think they realize
it's so hard to lock out a Puck.
Not worth it. So they're going to head themselves probably into the Roche pit now, get themselves an Aegis on the Lifestealer. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah. Right now, Lifestealer is currently head of the net worth, 13k, 12k over on the Tiny, 12k on Shadow Fiend. And look at, after that fight, Luccini has dropped quite a bit in terms of net worth. They're almost about 5k. They've ducked down by about 1,000 now.
Yeah, and this is kind of one of the things that I mentioned. You know, if Lifestealer gets huge, if Doom gets huge, these are tanky heroes. And we saw Epi barely doing anything there. Ice Blast, unfortunately, missed when it came out, so wasn't able to kind of get anything done. And they just didn't have enough damage to kill those tanky cores.
Well, do you think part of this, and again, it's not the whole problem, but we talked about the Shadow Fiend building more of a caster build? Is that a bit of like a sort of
It's definitely
an issue?
part of the problem because they just don't have anybody to really abuse these kind of low armor heroes. Like Doom has 5 armor. That gets completely negated by presence of the Dark Lord. So if this was a right-click Shadow Fiend, I definitely think that they would be able to pump some more damage out. Now there's the Python Viper.
There's just a Puck taking their tier 3 here. Very, very close, actually. Puck will just hide himself out, but it's a lot of unhealable damage on this tower.
Yeah, almost actually goes down to the siege creep too.
This chase.
Gotta get that Shivas, Doom. That's the answer. To anybody that doesn't know, Shivas is the answer to Puck.
I mean, he's working on it. He's gonna get that BKB first. Tiny again, poking, prodding top lane. Lifestealer's found him, though. Won't be able to put any damage onto him before he can blink himself away. We'll go for the TP. There's no way to cancel it. He's just out scot-free.
No Basher yet.
Look, the illusions just took the tower.
That's rough. He doesn't even want to send the, oh, maybe a bit of a lag?
Could be. There's lines being drawn all over the map. But that's how many towers now taken by this Tiny, just from ratting? It's like 3 now? No, 4. Because he took both lanes, not both lanes. He put both towers in the bot lane, both in the top now, too. This is actually so ridiculous. Someone's got to deal with this Tiny. He just can't be allowed to run around like that.
You could pretty much credit that bottom T3's death to Tiny too, because that's
the space.
Pretty much mostly him, yeah.
The space and just Puck, just, you know, a couple little boops, booping that tower.
Yeah. I mean, they got to deal with the Tiny, but the problem isn't even just the Tiny at this point. Like, they've got bots, Shadow Fiend, there's a Puck. They've got all these different ways to wave clear and just keep the lanes pushed out. Lifestealer has to sit there and auto attack. Doom has to sit there and auto attack. They don't have a great way to just quickly, you know, 1-2, get out. And that's the advantage that Luccini has in their draft.
That Lincoln's reveal was so huge for Wyvern. That could have been such a good Wyvern ult, but she had no idea that.
Yeah, Doom the Shadow Fiend. He runs back to base, grabs his Lincolns, and then comes back. That's
a big reveal.
That's a feels bad, man. Does have his blink dagger now.
Feels good if you're a Shadow Fiend, right?
Yeah, feels real good if you're the Shadow Fiend.
So we do have a Lifestealer bomb up here in the Earth Spirit. I don't know. There's the jump forward, though. They're going to try to burst down the Shadow Fiend. They will be able to get a kill that's followed up, though, with an Epicenter. They could get a return on this. JJ, he's in a lot of trouble. Will just try to roll himself away. He's going to just give up his life here. Oh, that last tree. Lifestealer managing to get himself out, though, during all of this.
Yeah, and meanwhile, a little bit of ratting from the Dire finally. They get themselves the T2 in the bottom. Doom and...
Don't count your eggs before they're hatched there, buddy. But yeah, it does look like it will get taken down.
It's gone. All right, I got this.
I'm just thinking how fast like this Tiny just moves, though. Like, mobility has been huge on this team. The fact that they just keep ratting the entire time. His illusions took the tier 2 top, and he's just sending them right into the base right now. Someone's got to go home and deal with it. And it looks like it's got to be the Lifestealer. They do, right?
Like, illusions got nerfed into oblivion, and Tiny just doesn't care.
You think Psy cares? IDC. Alright, Puck also has a Lincoln's now, so that'll protect it from Doom, also from Wyvern's Curse, depending on what gets thrown at it. Yeah. I'm so used to saying him or her, and then I get yelled at by chat saying, Puck isn't a him, Puck isn't a her. But it feels rude to call it, right?
I've just fully committed. Puck is her to me. That's how it was told to me. That's how I heard it get casted the first couple of games of Puck. In my brain, Puck will always be her.
Did you see that cheeky play from Puck, actually? Over in mid? Puck went and just illusory orbed in, got off a waning rift, and immediately just blinked out, even though there's so much nearby. That was... Wow, I got a little scared there for a second. I was like, oh, this is a dead Puck. Not so. Not today.
Slippery hero, man. Tough to pin down. And these side lanes are just always getting pushed in. They really want to just use the Sages and push high ground, but Tiny's
I mean, they're taking this middle tower right now. But they do need to get home, and they need to defend against Tiny, and of course everyone else is poking and prodding. Wheels comes out here from the, I believe that was Shadow Fiend, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a TP home right now. Yeah, Epicenter comes out. They found themselves a Wyvern.
Oh, that's huge.
Gone. All right, they need to get home now. They've got so much split pushing going on top. They're still trying to deal with this Tiny. They haven't been able to do it. Well, bottom lane, you see the Puck and the Sand King just chipping away with a little help from AA. We do see the roll in, though, coming out from Earth Spirit. They're going to be able to jump him immediately, though. Looks like Sand King still going to probably fall here. Yeah, he's going to get one mighty right click down. And now Puck looks like he's trying to run himself out. They do TP out the Ancient Apparition. Dream Coil comes out. Puck should be able to run himself away. And top lane, we have a Shadow Fiend who's just putting damage onto this tower. There's a Lifestealer Blinks. This is what we're talking about. All of these Blinks, this mobility, just kiting this Lifestealer. Puck is still, like, alive somehow. I don't even know how. He's finally taken down by the Viper, but they get the full lane of Rax and the tower here at the bot lane. And they get a tower top. That is actually really impressive.
He committed. He was like, I don't care if I'm going to die. I'm committing for this.
That's just space created.
I think it's worth it. I 110% think it's worth it.
It's like they've had enough of these shenanigans. Lifestealer's working on that Abyssal Blade for his next item. He's tired of being kited left and right.
Yeah, and this is what I mentioned in the draft. You know, just the ease of execution, the mobility, and the just in and out capabilities that Luccini have are proving very disastrously good against Mr. Lifestealer. I say disastrously good because, you know,
I was about to say, I was like, thinking.
I say disastrously because of the Lifestealer. He is hating his life right now.
Yeah,
he's like, why can't I just hit anybody?
He's being kited. He's just... He gets a little bit close to someone, they just blink away and they're like, bye, see ya, we don't want to have to deal with this. Now, we do have a Halberd up and running over in the Doom. He's got the BKB as well, so maybe they can make something happen with this Infest Bomb. But right now, Lifestealer just kind of wasting time sitting in this Doom and not getting much done, which is, you know, he's still the top of the net worth, but I don't know.
I mean, he's at the top of the net worth, but then the next three are all Luccini heroes.
Yeah.
And Doom going for the bonus Devourer gold, so they're scaling themselves up for a late game scenario, which I don't know if they want to do.
Oh, they have found themselves a Sand King, though. The Silence comes out, the Dust as well, the Yule's the roll. He's trying to buy him one more time, but will eventually get taken down. Big Ice Blast will connect over onto Earth Spirit. He's just going to run himself back here. And there's a Puck in the mid lane. Trying to put some damage onto this tower. I'm sure he just dodges himself out. Yeah, he just blinks himself away. They do find him, though, and the stone will connect, get a couple hits off, plus the silence. There's a Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's trying to figure out, does he want to fight or not? They pop the Lincolns on both of these heroes right now. Looks like they're still trying to get out. Puck might actually get taken down from the tick damage. Wyvern hot on the trail here. Does manage to get a click off. Looks like Puck going to be able to get himself out, but now Shadow Fiend, he's going to try to juke himself around here into the trees. He's actually breaking some ankles. Needs to get just another second. He's got the blink up and running. He can get himself out here. Will actually just choose to TP.
Man, Doom got canceled by the Lincolns. I don't know if it was on the Puck or the
both the Lincolns popped during that entire time.
Oh, that is rough. I mean, this has really been a game of Blink Daggers.
Mobility is king in this game.
Mobility is key. And Shadow Fiend's now got himself the Ethereal Blade, so even if he does get gone on by the Lifestealer, he just Ethereal Blades and doesn't care.
That's such an awkward phrase. I noticed myself saying that quite a bit too, but the get gone on? Yeah. You ever really thought about that?
Get jumped.
Oh, mid lane. Looks like we've got a Viper who is very, very dead. Look at Shadow Fiend. He's just walking right down mid. He's like, all right, Viper's down. I'm not afraid.
They're going to force a buyback or just go
They're going to go for Roche, I think. Is Roche up? Yeah. Santa Roche, all I want this year is an Aegis, some cheese, and maybe a refresher shard, you know?
No refresher.
If I've been... Well, I mean, they haven't been that good, right?
You got to wait for next year for that one, Moxie.
Next year, right. So I'm guessing this goes on Tiny. Yeah.
Oh, they knew, too. They were trying to make a move, but... just unfortunately a little bit too late.
A little too late.
And I saw a gem on someone. He had a gem. Wyvern has a gem. So they're going to try and
be very careful she doesn't lose that gem.
They're going to try and get themselves some map control with this. Take down some wards, deny the Radiant Vision. but with this bottom lane just constantly pushing in, they're going to get themselves some vision, at least on the bottom side.
Oh, they found themselves a Sand King. And that's been the reveal of the Abyssal Blade now.
Yeah, he ain't messing around anymore. If I see somebody, they're getting jumped, abyssaled, and they're dying.
Oh, he's tired of them getting away, that's for sure.
But, I mean, that ETH Blade pickup now from Shadow Fiend, it's not necessarily the case anymore because he can very easily just save somebody. They don't have that much magic damage. It's pretty much just like Viper, Scorched Earth, I guess. Like, there's not that much magic damage. It's not looking great for Vultur right now.
I mean, I think they just... Yeah, for Vultur, definitely. It's looking pretty scary, but I think Luccini just already blinked out. And Earth Spirit trying everything he can to get rid of these illusions. They're just so tanky. My goodness. I think they just wait for Sand King to be back up and they can probably go high ground here. They might not even need to wait for Sand King, but I definitely think it's a good idea.
Man, 5-second cooldown on tree grab is actually insane.
It's like his version of the companion cube, right? Never leave home without it.
That's right.
Oh, they do spot this Tiny.
Yeah, but they can't take a fight right now. Lifestealer is not there.
Oh, is he gonna try to jump them? Yeah, they see the TP coming in. Tiny jumps around the corner, finds himself an Earth Spirit. There's the Yules coming out here. Gonna try to get... Oh, that's a big Ice Blast! They will be able to take him down. Now Viper, he's trying to fight his way out. There's just too much damage being thrown at him. They'll eradicate Viper. They'll take down Earth Spirit. And there's another altercation going on. Wyvern actually gonna snap that Dream Coil now. Tiny, just tons of damage being thrown out. Gem on the deck. They're still giving chase. Doom actually having to pop the BKB. Doesn't get the Doom off either. And the rest of the team just gonna try to run themselves into base.
That's 1 minute, no BKB. No Viper.
I don't even know how safe he is. They will jump the Tiny, though. Can they pop this? Yeah, they'll get the Aegis. They'll turn back around. They've got their eyes on Sand King. Looks like they're a little too afraid, though. And then they'll jump back in. They get the Doom off onto Tiny. He's very, very tanky. I doubt that that's enough to do him down. But now, Lifestealer maybe a bit too greedy here. He's still chasing after. He thinks that maybe he can get something. Rage coming out, though. There's a lot of damage with these Tiny illusions. There's the jump forward. The BKB coming out from Tiny, but the Abyssal Blade comes in as well. The Ice Blast just shouting a little bit too short. They'll eat the cheese. They'll take down the Doom. Are they going to get the kill? They get the kill, and the good game well played gets called out. Luccini taking game number 1 of the series.
The ratting was just so huge there. Just constantly keeping the waves pushed in. And with the Lifestealer core, they didn't really have any great ways to just keep the lane pushed out.
Yeah, that Tiny was just a huge problem for them. They were always having to go backwards, trying to deal with him. He was finding just these opportune moments to push all these towers while everyone else was taking a team fight. Very well played here coming out from Luccini. We have another game after this. This is a best of 3 series, so we'll see if we can get maybe a 3-game series. I don't know, but stick around, guys. Find out.